What's good, everybody? Today, we're talking about radical expressions and rational exponents, aka fractional exponents. I'm going to show you how to work with fractional exponents. But before we start with fractional exponents, I'm going to use radicals as a guide. So when we break down radicals or we're adding radicals, right, guys, we have to have the same number under the radical to add. So when I break down radical 50, I should get 5 radical 2. And then as I continue on with this problem and we break down our second radical, I don't know why I put a addition sign there. And we break down our second radical, we're going to get 3 radical 2. And just understand that radical 10, there is no perfect square that we could divide 10 by, okay? So that's going to stay the same. So we'll bring it all the way down. And when we're adding with radicals, basically for us to add, the number under the radical has to be the same. So here, I could only add 5 and 3 because they have the same number under their radical. So when I do that, my final answer will be 8 radical 2 plus radical 10. Because we know radical 10, guys, we can't break it down like I said. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slide over a little bit and we're going to work with the rational exponents and see how to break those down. So guys, first things first, anything to the 1/2 power is the same thing as taking the square root. So what we see in red is the same exact thing we see in white, just a different version. So when I go through and I break this down now let's stay in white. We're going to have there's going to be a different way. So first we start off with parentheses and we put the factors that multiply to give us 50. So we have 25 times 2. And then we put the power on the outside of the parentheses. All right. So we know 25 to the 1/2. This just simplifies to 5. Put our multiplication sign in the middle. And we know 2 to the 1/2, the square root of 2, we can't simplify no more. So our first part of the problem is going to be 5 times 2 to the 1/2 power. Now we go over to the second part, do the same thing. So we put our factors in, 9 times 2 to the 1/2. And hey, for anybody wondering why we didn't use 6 times 3, just remember 3 is not a perfect square and 6 is not a perfect square. So that's why we had to use 9. All right, back to it. So we're back here. We're trying to clean up 9 times 2 to the 1/2. So 9 will turn into 3 because it's a perfect square. And then we have times 2 to the 1/2 power. Now we get to the last part, 10 to the 1/2. So I know some people are saying, hey, Mr. Peters, we could break this down and we could use, let's use a little arrow, 5 times 2 to the 1/2. Although you guys are correct, are 5 and 2 perfect squares? Absolutely not, right? So we're not going to be able to break it down. So we're going to keep it the same, okay? So let's just erase this. We take this off the screen altogether. So I bring this down now, and we have 10 to the 1/2. Now with fractional exponents, guys, for us to add, they have to have that same base, right? So we're talking about 2 to the 1/2 power. So at this step, this is the only reason why we can add 5 and 3. So we combine and we have 8 times 2 to the 1/2 plus 10 to the 1/2. Okay? But before we go on, we wrap this video up, I want to go over one more problem. This problem is going to be more challenging. I want to see if you guys could understand and even work through it with me. So let's go to our last problem for today. So last problem, I think I'm feeling blue. So we're going to blue, and what they give us, right? We have parentheses. We have the cube root, or not the cube root. We have the square root of 8 times the cube root of 3, and then outside the parentheses to the 2/3 power. All right, so first things first, guys, to solve this problem, we should already know that we can't multiply what's inside parentheses because they do not have the same base, right? They're not the same root, I should say. I'm sorry, the same root. We have a root of 3, and when there is no number in the root, we should always know and assume that it is 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this in the fractional exponent form. So we have 8 to the 1/2 power times 3 to the 1/3 power. And we're going to take both of these to the 2/3 power. Okay. And at this step here, what we're going to have is 8 to the 2/6, right? Because once we multiply 1/2 times 2/3, we'll get 2/6, right? And then we're going to multiply this by 3 to the 2/9. Now, as you guys can see, right, we don't even have the same base. We have a base of 8 and a base of 3. So with the properties of exponents, we can't even combine these. However, there is a way that we could rewrite this so that we can combine. So remember, 8 to the 2/6, if to the 2/6 power, if we reduce this to 8 to the 1/3 times 3 to the 2/9. So 8 to the 1/3, guys, this is the same thing as taking the cube root of 8. And we know 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 8. So at this part right here, when it's asking us for 8 to the 1/3, this is going to change to just 2, right? And then at this stage right now, we can't really simplify 3 to the 2/9. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it like this, right? And understand that, and hold on, let me make sure. And honestly, we're not even done. So hold on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch the form so that we could express this as one final simplified answer. So we have 2 times, and let's switch this, 3 to the 2nd power. All right, I'm sorry, let's simplify this a little bit first. And let's see. So what they're asking us here, guys, is they want us to either square 3 and then take the 9th root of it, or take the 9th root of 3 and then square it. So we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to simplify it as easy as we can. So what we can do is take this to the power. So our final answer in this would be 2 times the 9th root of radical 9. This is the furthest that we could go with this problem. So when we're talking about fractional exponents, guys, understand that anything to the 1/2 power is just its square root. Anything to the 1/3 power is its cube root. And we also have to remember that the radical form or rational form, same exact steps and methods. Please just make sure you understand your power, which is that top number of the fraction, and your root/index. That'll help you guys simplify so much. Thank you guys for joining us today, Algebra 1 with Mr. Peters. This is our rational exponents, how to add and multiply when we're working with fractional exponents. Hope you find this video helpful. Subscribe to our channel and leave comments down below if this video was helpful for you today. Thank you guys.